Wow, and that was MOG with Fire of the Holy Ghost filling this place for us this morning. I can feel the atmosphere being filled with the Holy Spirit. You're welcome back to the Cocoa Digest Morning Show here on Clock TV. I am Miriam Abena Adede. Now, it is a Tuesday morning, and as part of our lifestyle conversation, we discuss health-related topics. And today, we are discussing something that is related to our health. I'm talking about a chronic lung disease known as asthma. For some time, people have not really spoken about it because we assume it is part of, the normal diseases that people should have. But raising concerns about this have popped up on the internet that makes it very prudent that we have this conversation. Now, a study involving 20,000 students aged 12 to 14 across sub-Saharan Africa, including Accra and Kumasi, found that 12% reported asthma symptoms, though only 20% of them were formally diagnosed. And asthma happens to be the second leading cause of chronic respiratory death in sub-Saharan Africa. Asthma has also been steadily rising across Africa, particularly among adolescents. According to the Global Asthma Network and the World Health Organization, Nigeria and South Africa are seeing sharp increases. Contributing factors include urbanization, air pollution, and lifestyle changes, coupled with limited health care access. Now, it is very important that we talk about this because we know from what I have read now that a lot of people have this condition. Now, how do they manage the condition regardless? How to manage it is what we are going to be talking about, looking at the impact of exercise on asthmatic patients. And unfortunately, we couldn't have our guest on to talk to us in person here, but we have him across to speak to us online. So if my producer could link me to our doctor, so we have a brief conversation with him. Okay. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Derek Colette.
Yes.
I welcome you to Clock TV.
Come again.
I welcome you to Clock TV.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be on.
Right. So we are having a brief conversation here, and we are talking about the impact of exercise on asthmatic patients. And before that, I read something that shows how increasing asthma conditions have been in sub-Saharan Africa, with Ghana not being an exception. With your expertise, can you please tell us how asthma affects our respiratory system, particularly people physically active?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. It's a great question. I'd like to say a big thank you to all our viewers for taking time to tune into the lifestyle segment. Asthma, just as we talked about, is a long-term condition that affects the airways. And by airway, we mean the organ that's responsible for breathing, or the breathing system of the human body. So you breathe, first of all, through your nostrils. And when you pull air through your nostrils, it runs through your nose, it runs through your nostrils to the back of your throat, and it goes down into your lungs. And in your lungs, they go down into smaller tubes and end up in a spongy bit of tissue we call an alveoli. So this alveoli essentially is where the air you breathe in, enters your blood system or your blood circulation. So the alveoli are surrounded by tiny muscles, and these muscles can constrict, or they can tighten up, reducing the exposure your blood has with the air from the outside that you're breathing. And then they can loosen up, allowing for your blood to have more access to the air that you breathe in. So essentially, people with asthma, or people who have an asthmatic condition, have a fundamental problem with the availability of air getting into, or oxygen getting into the blood as a result of challenges at the alveolar level. Either there's too much body fluid that's impeding the oxygen oxygen from getting into the alveoli, or the muscles surrounding the alveoli tend to constrict and tighten up, not allowing enough room for the body to have, a healthy communication with the oxygen that we breathe in. So essentially, that's what an asthma, essentially that's what causes an asthma. Just like we talked about, we are experiencing an increasing rise of asthma. Even I'm speaking, from a health facility at the moment, and then I've seen a number of asthmatic patients within a very short period. So it gives you a fair idea of the prevalence of asthma.
Yeah. Doc, what do you think is causing, the increase in the numbers?
So, we need more research to establish the direct comparison. Associations have been drawn between urbanization, environmental factors, and then genetic factors. You could say that the reason why we are seeing more people coming up with asthma is because maybe the health-seeking behavior of people has shifted from herbal medicine to more of contemporary medicine. So we are recording more cases of people coming through the hospital with asthma. Some also argue that because of urbanization, one of the causes of asthma is that if children are not allowed, we call that an exposure hypothesis. If children are not allowed to play, like growing up, you used to play pillow in the sand, you used to play, fall on the ground, play football. But more children that are coming up in this age are playing computer games, playing indoor games. They have very little exposure to the outside environment. As a result, they develop some failed with the system that leads to the fluid buildup in the lung that contributes to an asthma formation. So I think it's a bit of health-seeking behavior, as well as the exposure really less and less playing outside as opposed to those who are playing inside.
Right. So, Doc, if I got you right, you are trying to say that it is important that people stay active, especially those with a condition, right?
Yes. So when it comes to asthma, essentially we experience that for you to be able to do any physical activity, you need to be able to breathe. If you stop breathing in, you are unable to carry out meaningful physical activity. Now, for clients living with asthma, we allow for some amount of physical activity. It's actually been found to be helpful. Science is found to be helpful for clients living with asthma. However, there are a few points that we have to make. If you have an asthmatic condition, engage in some form of exercise.
Okay, so we are looking at the impact of exercise on asthmatic patients. Doc, can you name some few exercises that you think is greatly impacting the lives of asthmatic patients?
Okay, that's a great question. We have exercise for sporting activities that we encourage for asthmatic. And then we have some other exercises. We have
Hello, Doc.
Hello.
Hello, Doc.
Yes. Okay, please. Hello.
Hello, Doc. Could you come back with your submission, please?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, yes. So I'm saying that there are some exercises that are recommended for people living with asthma, and some exercises that are not recommended for people with asthma. So essentially, first of all, before you even exercise, you have to first of all know yourself. First of all, the individual has to know himself, because every asthma is different to person. For some people, with a slightly of exercise, it tends to trigger an asthmatic attack. there are some exercises that are very effective than others. So it comes down to activity level. People learn the pattern of the asthma. Those consultations with their different. Now, generally, with more physically rigorous exercises or sporting activities that involve physical combat, that involves running in an environment where you're exposed to the various allergens. Essentially, because something allergic, I think that triggers an asthmatic attack. For example, someone exposed to smoke, very strong perfume, air pollution, diesel, can trigger an asthmatic attack. So now, if you are exercising in an environment where you're exposed to allergens, once you are exercising, you feel yourself breathing in through your mouth and through your nostrils. So you are taking in a lot more of these allergens per time as you exercise. So these allergens going into your alveoli and your airway can further worsen the attack.
Right.
So it's important that once we know ourselves and the frequency of the attacks that we also be aware of the environment in which we exercise. And then the types of exercise that I talked about should not be exercises that involve physical combat, like some form of breastplate or some form of boxing, using body contact, get a bit out of hand. Or exercises that involve very long distance running. I'm not encouraging people with that. Jogging is fine, either playing tennis, playing some amount of football, everything is fine. But if it's becoming excessive, then what you realize is that because you're breathing through your mouth, your nostrils essentially contains hair follicles. So the hair, when you breathe in, will sieve out some of the allergens. That's the dust, a bit of the smoke, and then other pollen grain that comes through that can trigger an attack. Once you breathe through your nostrils, it sieves out all those allergens. Now, when you're exercising, you find yourself panting. And once you're panting, the tendency is that you start breathing through your nose as well, through your mouth as well. And when you breathe through your mouth, the air you may breathe in may be unfiltered air, which exposes you to a higher volume of the allergens per time. So very excessive amounts of exercise can be counterproductive for people living with asthma.
Thank you so much. So first of all, we need to know ourselves and also know the kind of environments we are in before we embark on an exercise, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So from our research, we got to know that a lot of these people are teenagers and adolescents. How do you think parents and guardians can, assess their wards in embarking on some of these exercises?
Right. So, important that every asthmatic is linked to healthcare. So, most people who have asthma should have a clinic in their term, that's where they are positioned, they are up to date in terms of medications that they're on, they're up to date in terms of the inhalers that they use, they're up to date in terms of their activities and that are recommended for the aging and things that are not recommended for aging. Also, to parents having children with asthma should have a healthy community with the schools that their children attend. So essentially, if you have a child of asthma, the teacher should be aware of the fact that the child has, so that if anything happens, we know instead of being confusing and panic, we have a clear understanding of the potential ward.
Okay. Are there any warning signs that both parents and also the adolescents should look out for when exercising?
Great. So it's a very great question. So the symptoms of asthma, shortness of breath, you feel a certain sensation of tightness in your chest. You feel there is a amount of cough some complain of some the shortness of breath, the tightness in your chest, having a general, feeling of and having difficulty breathing. And then for some people, they are able to hear, or if they are close to them, hear a whistle, you hear a whistling, the sound of a whistle, the breathing and the breathe out, because the lungs are really tightening up, the muscles are tightening. So it creates a very narrow space for the breathing flow. So essentially, you hear like air blowing very narrow space. We call that a key. So if you listen close, they are breathing very fast, difficult to breathe. You can hear a whistle-like sound. Then you know that they are having an attack, or they are just about to get very serious.
Right. Thank you so much. Lastly, Doc, looking at one of the causes of asthma, we made mention of the fact that urbanization is one of them. And looking at our current setting, especially Accra, from the research, I made mention of Accra and Kumasi being notable cities where these conditions are being detected. Now, from your outfit, how are you putting measures in place to ensure that we curb this rise in issues? Because it looks like it is something that is not ending anytime soon. So what is your outfit and other health facilities doing about the rise in numbers?
Right. So I think it's a very great question. So maybe at the beginning, I started to talk about how asthma comes about. Then one of the points I made is that there's a genetic component of it, where if your parents have, they're very likely to have it. So it's a familial component, a genetic component of it. Now, there's the organization component to think about comes about as a result of people moving into a more westernized culture, where we don't allow kids to play outdoors. We don't allow kids to play outside. When a child is growing up, what happens is that in this infection. When they go to school, they come back from playing, from the cold, from playing. Essentially, the body needs to come back, adapt itself, modify itself to become efficient. But when kids, because of urbanization and then a westernized style, our kids are indoors playing, hardly go out to play. So their body is not used to pick up things that you and they have done this way, and our body is used to fighting. Those who were playing pillow, the ground, and play on the other sports on the ground. But urbanization and westernized lifestyle, and kids being more indoors, so their immune systems become unskilled in learning how to fight infections. So these individuals, later when they're exposed to some form of an infection, their body systems respond to infections that they are young at an actual age. And then that starts for asthmatic pathophysiology. In fact, I realized this is about with you and I feel that going a bit back in terms of our lifestyle, shall give you that opportunity to play when you are much younger.
Right. Thank you so much, Doc, for your time this morning.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, do enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Right, and that was Dr. Derek Colette, a medical practitioner and resident in Kolebu Teaching Hospital here in Accra. And he was our guest for today as we discuss the impact of exercise on asthmatic patients. My takeaway from this conversation is that we should allow our kids to go out and play. Let them have some form of exercise so the rate at which we are, experiencing asthma in our country can be reduced a bit. Right. So this is where we end the lifestyle segment here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. Up next is our birthday segment. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
I heard today was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday. Was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday.
All right, you're welcome back to the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. Now, what a privilege, an honor to celebrate your birthdays with you. And we are doing this special edition for you. And so please wish my son a happy birthday. He is John Tete Dakon. We wish you a happy birthday. May the good Lord continue to bless you. And this is a special one from me to our very own Daddy Ernest Asari. May the good Lord continue to bless you with many more years. We love you so much, from my aunt, from your sons, and also from me. Happy birthday to Bismarck. God bless you and elevate you. Have an amazing year ahead. We also have this. You are growing up to be an amazing person. Keep exploring, learning, and chasing your passion. Always remember that Rich Auntie loves you so much. Onyame Enshirawo. It has no name. Okay, so we have a few birthday messages to be displayed right now. Okay, so a happy birthday to Bismarck. God bless you and elevate you. Have an amazing year ahead. You are growing up to be an amazing person. Keep exploring, learning, and chasing your passion. Always remember that. Rich Auntie loves you. Onyame Enshirawo. Okay, we also have this. A happy birthday, Sethina from Junior. He says he loves you so much. Oh, it is just, a lovely day to be having a lot of people express their love in so many ways. Just as we said, it shouldn't end with just messages. Momo the person, deliberately act on your feelings and let the person feel loved in so many ways. This is where we end the birthday segment here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. I am Miriam Abena Adede. Up next is our main discussion with Yaira and her guests. Stay with us. We'll be right back.